What is up, everybody? Good morning. This is day number 3 of my chess tournament in Mallorca, Spain. It is right now like 11 in the morning. I just finished breakfast and now I thought, you know what, Anna? Spoiler alert, by the way, you lost yesterday. You gotta do something nice for yourself today. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna go to the pool because as you can see, the weather is super duper nice. So I'm gonna go to the pool and maybe try to get a little bit of a tan. Swim, maybe, I don't know. But I'm just gonna lay there, soak in the sun. Do you hear the kikiriki? Sorry, everyone was telling me the other day, Anna, it's not kikiriki, it's like kukuruku. I don't know, but whatever. And it's called a rooster. There's so many roosters around here that you probably can hear. So yeah, there we go. I hear a lot of roosters. Anyway, everybody, I'm gonna go to the pool. I might wanna go to the gym as well. That'd be pretty nice. Haven't checked the pairings yet? We'll do that later. I'll see you very soon. I just checked the pairings and I am playing Christian Kuhn in 1900 from Germany. He's rated 1951, I believe, to be exact. But yeah, he's 58 years old, 1950, and I have the black pieces today. I'm gonna start preparing now because the game is starting in approximately 3 hours. Now, I saw that he lost the first game against the 2200. He beat a 1600 yesterday, and today he's playing me. So let's go ahead and start preparing. So I've been prepping now for a couple hours and I think that my opponent is gonna go e4, even though he always goes c4. And that's because he played e4 just a couple rounds ago in this tournament for like the first time in so long. So I've prepared some pretty cool Sicilian lines against e4. Let's see if my little gamble plays off or not. I mean, it's a really big risk to mainly look at e4, but I think he's gonna do it. I kind of have like the feeling that he's gonna do it. I'm gonna go now and have some dinner, but I will see all of you later on by the round. I just finished my game and I'm in the playing hall right now, but the reason I'm not disturbing anyone is because I'm literally the last person in the playing hall. Like, I'm all here by myself. And that's because my game was one of the last ones to finish. And it wasn't even because the game had a lot of moves, but it was because it was such a complicated and complex game that both of us just spent so much time thinking. So I'm super excited to show you the game. I'm gonna go back to the room and I'm gonna do it right now. I am back to the room and I have one thing to tell you. I was right, everybody. I predicted that my opponent would go e4 instead of c4, which is what he typically plays, and I was actually able to completely predict his opening, and that made me very happy whilst at the board. So I was playing Christian Kuhn and he played e4, I went c5, knight f3, knight c6, and now I was 100% sure that he was going to play bishop b5 because I had seen that he played this like 2 rounds ago against, instead of putting the knight here, going d6. So he went bishop e5 and I had prepared this. So I went e5, which is something that I've never played before, but I've seen players such as Magnus Carlsen playing this. He castled and now bishop d6, and this looks very strange because the bishop is put behind a pawn, so it looks very weird. But the idea is that if white would ever go d4, this bishop would become pretty active, and simply also that right now white is threatening to capture this pawn. So if I wouldn't go here or play d6, this pawn would be hanging. But I don't really want to play d6 yet because then my bishop is going to become very bad. So that is the idea of placing the bishop there. So now I play this move rook e1. And actually, I had not really prepared this because I didn't think that he was gonna go here. I mean, this is not one of the most common moves in this position. But in his game, like 2 days ago, he had played rook e1 and then like bishop f1. But I was like, there's no way he plays it in this game because it's just so bad in this position. But I was wrong. I went a6 here, kicking away the bishop, and now, boom, the bishop went all the way to f1. And I had not really seen any game that had this position. So I was very surprised. So I went knight f6 here. And now the most scary thing that I thought he could do was start to bring up the pawns. So like going c3 and then going d4. Now here I was, thinking quite a while about what I would do if he did this. But actually that's not really like a good thing to do because after thinking for a while, he just played knight c3. So yeah, he just played knight c3 and that made me very happy because now his little break in the center could not happen anymore. So I castled and then he went a4 to stop me from going b5. And here, probably what I should do is just simply go bishop c7 and then try to go for d5. This is probably like the thing that I should do. But I went b6 to get my bishop out. And then now h6, this is like actually a really important move because I'm preventing the bishop from getting to g5. If my opponent can get his bishop to g5 and then his knight up to d5 with the bishop here, it's going to be very, very strong for him. So h3, and now bishop b7. And now it was the first time that he thought for a while. I mean, up until this point, my opponent had just like simply blitzed out the moves. I mean, he had like an hour 30 left, which is the starting time. Like he was just blitzing out the moves. Whereas I had maybe like an hour left. But here he went for this move knight h2. And the moment he did it, I'm not gonna lie, I was very surprised. Like I literally like stayed and looked at the board. Like I didn't write down the move immediately. I was very surprised. So knight h2, and I quickly realized that his idea was to bring up his knight. Let me just show you if I would do a random move. His idea was to just simply bring up his knight and then just, bring up his queen. That was what he wanted to do. So I realized that, okay, maybe I can go knight d4 so that if he would go knight here, queen takes, I would be able to capture this pawn on c2. So he went knight e2 now, and it was in this position that I made a move that my mother said, Anna, this is the one move I don't understand. Why did you do this? Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really understand it too well myself. Here, I should probably just have done something like rook e8, because constantly the idea is just to simply go rook e8. The idea is constantly just to go rook e8 and then to get this bishop down to f8 to be able to play d5. But here I went for this move queen c7, and this move actually just does nothing. Like this move is just, yeah, the reason I did it was because I was 100% sure that he was going to capture. And I thought that I maybe wanted to capture with the e-pawn and I wanted to prevent f4. But even here, like my opponent might have g3 and be able to start pushing. So this move was just not good. And the moment he went knight g3 and just said, hey, I'm not going to capture your knight, I realized that this was a really strong move by him. So I moved my rook and he went c3 and I had no other choice but to go back to e6 right over here. So knight e6 and now knight g4. And now I started getting terrified. Like, I think I had like 30 minutes left here, and I started getting really, really, really scared because I realized that now his knights, his queen, his bishop, all these pieces are going to be pointing towards my king. And I was thinking, am I going to get checkmated in 20 moves? So here I spent quite a lot of time thinking. I wasn't exactly sure about what I should do, but I ended up going queen d8 to defend this knight with my queen. Now he went knight f5, bishop f8. You can see how both of his knights are coming, right at me. And now in this position, he should have taken my pawn on e5. If he took my pawn, and I sacrificed my pawn because I realized that it was better to sacrifice my pawn than my king. If he would have taken this pawn, I would have gone d5 and I would have prayed. I would have prayed that I would have some compensation. But I don't know if it is that he didn't see that this pawn was hanging, or if it is that he just got too excited about getting his his rook involved in the party that he just, after like 30 seconds, just went rook e3 and looked super happy. And I was looking super happy too, because I quickly realized that, okay, now at least I'm not losing my pawn. So I quickly realized that this is a mistake because he was now blocking for his bishop. So this bishop that was looking so good on this diagonal was now blocked by the rook. So I quickly captured here on g4, and after queen takes g4, I realized that I could go queen g5. Now threatening to exchange queens. If we do end up exchanging queens, then it would be an equal position and I wouldn't be getting checkmated. So the queen retreated, and now I went knight f4, and this is really important. He went rook g3 to threaten my queen, and I went queen f6. Important to keep control of this pawn, as otherwise there would be knight takes h6 now that this pawn is pinned. Sorry, this did not happen. So he went now queen g4, bringing, the queen once again to the party. I mean, I could tell that he really just wanted to checkmate me. And I went h5, kicking away the queen. Now the queen went to f3, and here I thought, okay, I can take this knight because the pawn is pinned right now thanks to my bishop. But I didn't want to get into that endgame because I thought the endgame would just be bad. So I went g6 instead with the idea of moving up my king. The queen retreated to d1, and now I started, well, I didn't realize that it was crucial for me to go d5 like right now. Like I should have gone d5 immediately now. This is a really important move just to target the center immediately and get my rooks to play and get my bishop to play too. d5 is a really important move. I went king h7, which there's nothing wrong with, but after knight e3, now he's getting a little bit more control of this d5 square. And here I made a mistake. I went bishop h6, and this is a completely unnecessary move. Once again, I should just go d5. Like my mom was just praying that I would go d5. Speaking of my mom is doing live commentary on my Twitch channel of my live games every single day. So if you want to see my mom commentating my game, head to twitch.tv/Anna Cramling, and you'll be able to see her live commentary. So rook f3, and now was the moment where I probably made my second mistake in the game after queen c7, and that's that I went queen e6. And the reason this is a mistake is because I'm taking away all the squares for my knight, but I thought it was fine because I thought that g3 didn't work because I could just capture this pawn on h3, but actually it's not that clear because he can go takes, and then all of a sudden this pawn is hanging. So it's not so clear, but he thought it was as clear as I did, and he went king h2, and now finally I played d5, which is really important. So now I went queen c2, and I took, and then here actually f5 is the best move, but I went queen c6, threatening the pawn. He went knight d5, and now this is really pretty. Actually, f5 is the best move, but I ended up taking, and this was actually a mistake, which I didn't realize, but it's a mistake because of a very difficult move. After takes, he has rook takes f7 check. Crucial to go back with the bishop and not king g8, as if king g8, there is takes, queen is hanging. After takes, there's queen here, and it's going to be a checkmate. So rook takes f7, bishop g7, and now the reason, taking here is a mistake is because of bishop c4. But this is, an incredible engine move, and this is very difficult to find. You sacrifice the knight, but the idea is that if knight here, there's takes, bishop here, this is like so beautiful. And if the knight goes somewhere else, there's queen d2, and now the queen is coming in, and I'm just basically lost. But he didn't do it. Instead, he just captured my knight. Rook went back. I pushed the pawn to open up the diagonals, brought my rook in, and now I realized that I wanted to move my bishop around the board. So I went bishop e5 and then bishop c7 with the idea of bringing in my queen and trying to checkmate. Because I saw that if he ever goes g3, I'll be able to push my h4 pawn. So I went h4, queen d6, g3, and now I found this really nice idea. I had very little time here. I had less than a minute. And I found this move e3, which is really good because it opens up for my bishop. So now if he would, for instance, just take, I'd be able to just simply go queen d5, and there's nobody that's pretty much stopping my checkmate. I mean, this is really bad. So his only move here is to go f4. And now I missed, I had like seconds on the clock, I missed this move e2. This is the move that I should do. Instead, I went bishop e4, threatening the queen, and I did this move with like 3 seconds left on the clock. He went queen h2, and I went bishop d3. And now in this position, he ended up, this was move 39, so at move 40 I got some extra time, but he spent a lot of time thinking here, and I realized that he could probably just capture my e3 pawn, and if he was gonna do it, I was also just pretty much gonna pray. But the idea was that I had takes, queen d3 check, king f2, and then I had this move, rook up. And the idea here is that I'm going to be doubling up the rooks, and his bishop is kind of weirdly placed, but I'm a pawn down, so I would probably, like, it would be really difficult for me to try to, like, win the game. I think this would, in the best case, just become a draw for me. So, but here he went bishop takes d3, and the moment he did it, I was extremely happy because this is a mistake. And then he went queen e2. And now I had, 15 extra minutes because they give you extra time in move 40. So here I was thinking for a while, because I was thinking if I should go c4, but then I realized that my pawn would just be hanging. So I ended up taking, and at this point I realized that I was probably winning. And that's because I saw this idea, and I had looked at it for quite a few moves before, but I saw that there's takes, rook check, only move is king g2, and now the crucial, most important move of the game, c4, stopping this pawn from ever pushing. The bishop cannot take because the rook is hanging, so he has to go king f3, and I was so happy when I found this move, bishop d6. Now here, his only move is to go rook takes e3, but after takes, and bishop c5 check, after something like king over here, I'm going to go rook e1, and I'm going to cut off the king. And if the king ever goes to g2, well, I will have bishop e3, for instance, winning an exchange. But I can also just simply bring in my king, and my opponent will never be able to get out of this pin, which is just, amazing. So this is a completely won position. So after bishop d6, he went b4, just, in a desperate attempt to get his bishop out. I took en passant. He went bishop b2, I exchanged the rooks, bishop c5 defending my pawn, and after bishop b2, I went b5 with the idea that whenever he exchanges, I can go a5, and now I've created another passed pawn, and there is nobody in this world stopping this pawn from promoting. At least not this one, and this one. I have 3 passed pawns, which is just way too much to stop. So everybody, my opponent resigned here, and I won the game. And I was so happy to win the game. I mean, I'm still really happy because I felt at one point that I was just completely lost. Like, I really just felt like I was lost whenever he just threw all his pieces at me. So I was so happy when I was able to get this win. Tomorrow, I'll probably have the white pieces. I will have to see who it is that I'm playing. But winning a chess just always feels so great. It doesn't matter who you beat. Doesn't matter anything, it always just feels absolutely amazing. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do like this. So I'm gonna go and head to bed. But thank you so much everybody for watching this video. Thank you for following me on this journey. Tomorrow we have round number 4, and I'm gonna get some good sleep before that. Good night everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.